Yo guys, so this is going to be an unedited, unscripted, just off the dome video, breaking down obviously my decision to begin a cycle of steroids. So let me make this very clear before we go any further, and so we've got a very good understanding of this, because as much as it might not be a big deal to a lot of people, I do have a young fan base. And I've got a lot of young followers out there that look up to me and use me as a form of inspiration. So I need to be very clear in this, and for you guys to understand that I am telling you, please do not ever take steroids. Do not ever take steroids. Please. Okay, please. You have absolutely no need to. Look at me up to this point. 6.5 years I've been natural. Going on 7 years even now, into my 7th year of training pretty much. And I've achieved what I've achieved naturally. Whether you choose to believe that or not, that's absolutely fine. I'm sure you'll lose no sleep, and neither will I. I understand if you're skeptical about my natural status for 6.5 going on 7 years. I don't blame you. I would be too. Trust me, I would be skeptical too. But all I can tell you is, ultimately, I've been natural for going on 7 years. So please use that as an example of what you can do naturally, which is huge. Be one of ultimately the best bench presses in the world at the moment. Not to mention, there are many examples of extremely incredible men worldwide at the minute that are natural. Look at Jesus Olivares in the powerlifting scene, an absolute freak of nature and a natural competitor. So please understand that you do not need gear. You do not need gear at all to get strong, to get in shape. The only thing that you're ever going to need is the correct mindset and the right diet every time. That's all that matters. Good mindset, good input in the gym, good diet, you can do it. You do not need gear. Please understand that. So that's what we'll do. Is I'm going to go into the reason why I've started a cycle, and then I'll tell you what the cycle is. So for 6.5, like I said, going on 7 years, I've trained naturally. Only in the last kind of 6 to 9 months have I started to realise my potential in a particular lift we all know as bench press. I've always been someone that's trained, not as in, you know, during the time that I have trained. I've always been someone that's enjoyed training. I have a lot of fun training, as you guys can see with a lot of the lifts that I do and a lot of the stupid stuff I do. I don't take training too seriously, and I don't think anyone ever should. So let that be a takeaway. Don't ever take it too serious. Have fun, because that's what gym's about. It's about enjoying yourself and, you know, finding your own way of growing and building and just having fun. And, you know, don't ever make it boring for yourself, because that's what kills the love of it. A lot of powerlifters lose their love of lifting because it becomes so generic and boring for them. And at the same time, know some of that, but I'm just saying, have fun. That's what I want to say. So for a long time I've had fun, but in the last kind of 6 months, I've started to realise, I suppose, and especially up to the last kind of 2-3 months recently, just how good my bench press is and can be. Have I done 305 kilo in a competition? No, I haven't. Have I done it raw, unwrapped? No, I haven't. I've done it in wraps. But I'm 28 and natural. So I'm just about to start hitting that kind of good range of male strength. You know, men tend to see their peak strength hitting from around the age of 28 to about 33, 34. And they'll start to drop off maybe, around 36, 37. So I'm just about to begin hitting some peak male strength. Now with this in mind, and with the current level of my bench press and how strong I am, I think I would be stupid to not try and attain a world record in bench press. When I say bench it's not just an obsession, it's all I think about. It is all I think about. It makes me anxious, excited, confused, scared. I experience every emotion about bench pressing. It's bizarre, because it's like I love. It's one of the loves of my life is bench press. I adore it. I truly adore it. I dream about it multiple times a week. I dream about bench press. I walk around my house doing this just like benching me there, just because I love the movement. It's just, yeah, it's something that I love. And with where I'm at now, I mean, yes, I've done 305 kilo. It was a gym lift. You know, it wasn't under powerlifting rules, and I wore elbow wraps. But, you know, I know how well that 300 kilo moved and that 305 moved. That 300 kilo moved. On that day, I think I'd have done it without wraps. It moved that well and looked like I could have repped it for free. And you know, I've just been on holiday. I've been to LA. Like, you know, a lot of you that have followed my story or been following me, you know, I've been to LA. I've just got back from a holiday in Turkey. It's time to knuckle down. It's time to show my true potential, because I don't think people understand how serious I am when I say I am just getting started. Truly just getting started. I'm ready to go in like a pure psycho insane way that most normal people wouldn't understand, but I'm ready to commit my life to this, to leave a legacy, to be that guy that my kids can say, that was my dad. Yeah, you know, in friend groups and conversations, when that name is mentioned, yeah, that was my dad, that's my dad. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I want to leave that legacy. So the reason I am starting a cycle is because I truly believe I have the potential to go and set a world record in bench press. And it's my intent, that's my plan. That is my plan ultimately. That's what I want to do. It's what I intend to do. And then once I've done that, I might go and dabble around in other things, you know, whether it be some strongman, whether it be arm wrestling, you name it, but I do intend to dabble around in other things too. So let's talk about the cycle that I'm running. Okay, oh, sorry, we lost light there for a sec. We're back. So let's talk about the cycle that I'm running. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, what I'm running is very mild. So I'm sure a lot of people that heard, yeah, Jim Reaper started gear were like, yo, right, where's the trend? Where's this? Where's that? Nope. I am running 1 mil of test a week. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing at all. 250 milligram, 1 mil of test a week. That's it. Running nothing else. I apologise for the hippopotamus upstairs. That would be one of my sons running around. But yeah, 1 mil, 250 milligram weekly. Okay, and that's it. That's all I'm running. I'm running nothing else. And reason being is I don't want to run or overdo the early stages. Does that make sense? I don't want to. The thing is, a little is a lot. A little is a lot. I naturally had low test. My bloods recently showed I had about an 8.26 reading, due to a pretty bad vitamin D deficiency, due to my body weight, due to things like that. My test was really low. So me running 250 mil, even though it's quite low in the grand scheme of things, not super low, I mean, it's still a good dose. I think that's plenty to start on, and I'd like to spend, you know, whether it be 4 months, 5 months, 6 months running this cycle now of just weekly 250 milligram 1 mil, because I think I'm gonna get good gains off this beginning cycle. Now, this is not saying that I am not going to introduce other things in the future. I can't say if I will or won't. I don't know. It's likely that if I get to a point where the 250 isn't having the effect that I want it to, or has had the effect that I want it to, that I might up it to 300, 350. I don't know. But to be completely transparent, right now, all I am running is 250 milligram, 1 mil a week of testosterone in Anthate. That's it. Okay, so for everyone that was like, yeah, trend. Sorry, no trend. And I don't think I'll ever do trend in my life. So yeah, just test. That's it, guys. That's the big woo that you're all here for. Again, let me reiterate that gear is not something cool. It's not a cool thing to do. It's not a fun thing to do. It's just not. I mean, to be transparent, get this. Yesterday, I was so concerned with doing it for the first time. I got my mom to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. It's not fun. It's not a cool thing to do. I'm 28 years old. and I got my mum to jab my ass with a needle. There you go. But you know what? I'm an honest man. I don't lose no pride in saying that. I just need you guys to understand it's not a cool thing to do. It's not a cool thing to do, so please don't do it. Okay, I can't reiterate that enough. Do not go away from here and think, yeah, Jim Reaper's doing this, so I'm going to do this. Nah, you have to understand that I'm doing this because I truly, truly believe I could be the one man in the world to go and set a record in bench press and set a record that might become unreasonable for many years. That's how I feel. And that self-belief can be delusional at times. I'm sure some people will look at this and go, he's delusional. To you, I say, oh well. I'd rather die chasing a dream than live an extremely average life. And I don't mean that in a morbid way of, oh, I'm going to die. But what I mean is, I could die tomorrow and be hit by a bus. But at least I truly believe in myself and I'm chasing something rather than just sitting there on my ass and having no self-determination, no desire, nothing. So understand, let me reiterate, let's close out this video. I am running 1 mil a week of testosterone anthate. I'll be injecting it weekly, once a week, 1 pin, I believe is the term, 250 milligram weekly, that's it. I'm running nothing else. If after a long period of time or a certain period of time, this is not having the effect that me and, you know, for example, Doc Khan, when I'm going to get my bloods done, it's not having the desired effect that we thought it would, then I will likely begin to heighten the dosage of testosterone that I'm intaking. As I said, I haven't ruled out other things in the future other than Tren. I will never take Tren, but, you know, let's say in 2 months, I might say, you know what, let's introduce Anavar, because it does have some forms of strength benefits, even though there are many more negative side effects than positive ones. So yeah, and the reason I'm doing this is because I truly believe I can break a bench press world record, and that's what I want to do. So let me just say to all the people, because a lot of you, there's so many comments on the video the other day, probably, you know, 500-600 comments alone were saying, no, please stay natty, please stay natty. Trust me, I get it. I get it, because I've been natty for a long time. And like, there's something about being natural that just when you're strong and when you're doing it and when you're out there, even though you've got nothing, and I haven't, I've got nothing against anyone that takes gear and never have, it just makes you feel good knowing that you're doing it your way without that, you know, that additional support of that. But I'm not doing this to put you guys down. You have to understand that. All you were like, please don't do it. No, no, no. You have to understand that this is for greatness. That's truly where my eyes are set. Nowhere else, just greatness, man. That's all I want, greatness. I don't see nothing else. I just see greatness. And I know that it's written in my life somewhere. I know that. You know, you might have seen that quote from Matthew McConaughey that says, like, did you ever, or, you know, I think it was a Black Wolf quote as well, where it says, you always knew that you were meant for more, but you didn't know what it was, or something along those lines. You know, like, well, since I was a kid, I had this conversation recently, but when I was like 13, 14, like, trust me, like, I've always had a deep, innate feeling that, like, I truly am meant for something. Like, I'm going to fucking be somebody and leave an effect on this planet. So, yeah, I'm not doing it to spite anyone. I'm not doing it because, you know, oh, I can't get stronger naturally, because I can. Trust me, guys, I can. I know I could put more on my bench press naturally. I know I could, just through hard work. But the reality is, I know that it is time for me to begin to capitalise on the strength period of my life, where I'm now going into that peak strength phase and begin to try and attack that world record and break it. So that is why, and that's the cycle I'm running. And yeah, please, again, I reiterate, do not go away, do not take care. Don't think it is cool, because it's not. It's not. Nothing cool about it, mate. Trust me, there's nothing cool about it. Just to give you, you know, just to, you know, I'll mention a couple side effects right now of testosterone. You can get severe acne, spots everywhere. Is that worth it? Really? What, for a bit of strength gains? For what? For your social media? Who cares? Do you know what I mean? Acne everywhere, dreadful moods, severe mood swings. Do you know what I mean? Your testicles shrink. Those alone, those three alone, should have just been enough for you to go out in this video and go, I'm not doing no gear, and I hope that's the impression you leave with. But I hope you understand why I am. All right. So yeah, like I said, this has just been off the dome, guys. Nothing else really to add other than I love you all. Thank you for all the support recently. And for the last 6 months, it's been a whirlwind. It's been a serious whirlwind. And I'm, living pretty much a dream at the moment. I've been to Los Angeles to train with Larry Wills. I got to meet people like Joe Selix, rest in peace, Joe. It's just been incredible. It's just been incredible. So, yeah, thank you again. Please understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, but at the same time, please don't leave this video thinking this is a cool thing. And stay tuned, because if you thought I was on gear, surely you know the consensus that in the first kind of 8 to 10 weeks of testosterone alone, realistically, as long as the dosage is good enough, people tend to see a 10 to 20% strength increase. If you thought I was on gear, what are you going to do when this strength increases, baby? Stay tuned. Love you all. And thank you again. That's it. Peace.